Rosie Clear, what was your reaction to this job description?
On the face of it, quite shocking as someone who's grown up in Europe to parents of coming from outside of the European Union and Africa. But and I think it's especially a difficult one because she's aligning basically migration with security, and I think that that's the difficulty, suggesting that migration potentially is a security threat for Europe, and I think that's what makes this contentious. So contentious actually that Margaritas himself hasn't actually put that job title on his Twitter description as yet. And I think it's going to be to discuss, isn't it? It's going to be discussed next week. I think Ursula will have to take
She's
some other
tried to do a
suggestions.
little bit of damage control. Judah Grunstein putting out a clarification on Thursday over Twitter. She tweeted our European way of life with a big graph that showed all these words with values in them. But yeah, it doesn't say much about migration and security in that tweet.
It's disappointing because at a time when especially the recent European Parliament elections were framed as this big battle between a liberal vision and a pluralistic vision of Europe versus a far right authoritarian and nationalist sense of Europe. To see this, which is very clearly this far right discourse being mainstreamed and being not only mainstreamed but endorsed by the European Union, it's absolutely outrageous. Apparently, when it was announced in the press room, the press asked, "What does this mean?" And when it was explained that it had to do with migration, there was like vocal reaction of disapproval. Eventually, they'll either walk it back or they'll take the consequences. My reaction to the Commission in general is that, as is typical with the EU, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or 1 forward and 2 steps back, depending on how you look at it. It's a very ambitious commission.